You guys, yesterday was a big day. We got an expansion pack announcement. We don't know exactly what it is yet, of course. There are clues, and we're going to talk about them a little bit in this video. The return of stuff packs, which was the absolute last thing I was expecting. Of course, we got some news on The Sims Mobile, The Sims Free Play, and also an update, and in my opinion, not so good update on Project Renee. Free to play, which is very, very concerning in my opinion. And when I say concerning, I'm not really talking about initial concern because free is good. Everybody likes free, but when a game is free to play, the concern lies in the long run with DLC, microtransactions, and how much money you're going to be throwing at the company and other things that aren't core features. We have two brand new blog posts. They're actually pretty small, at least the first one. We have a blog post on the roadmap. It's literally not even a paragraph long. Embrace the hustle and bustle of Sims 4 with two exciting kits, one tasty stuff pack, and a neighborly expansion. And the reason why I wanted to cover this is because the two exciting kits are actually a miscommunication. They don't exist on this roadmap. So I'm actually thinking we might not be getting any more kits for the rest of the year, or at least in the foreseeable future. I kind of just assumed that we were going to be getting kits because usually I feel like we have kits with every roadmap. So I guess most people assumed they would be on the roadmap or we would get them in the last quarter of the year. And also they do list it here, but they do leave an update. A previous headline incorrectly mentioned that two kits would be released as part of the new season. We've removed and apologized for the error. Well, the error is still here. It still says Sims 4 with two exciting kits. So I would work on getting that removed, EA, because it's still there, but I wouldn't have questioned it at all if I first saw this before they issued the statement correcting the issue. I would have just been like, okay, two new kits. We're so used to them pumping these things out that I truly just assumed we would be getting them even before I read it, which is what's pretty funny here. But if anything, I'm kind of shocked that we're not going to be getting two kits because this roadmap covers more than just a quarter of the year. It's the last 4 months of the year, September, October, November, and December. An expansion pack, a stuff pack, and then they put more. So I would expect two kits and maybe even a game pack because a 4-month period, you know, that's a pretty lengthy period. I'm thinking that the expansion pack is likely going to be coming in either October or November. When we get quarter 4 expansions, that's usually when they are closer to Christmas time. And of course, we're going to get into speculation on what they could possibly be about in just a little bit.
Life is busier than ever, but hustle culture isn't what it used to be. It's time to throw out the bad chaos of the hustle and bustle and trade it in for the good so you can own your own storyline. Tune into the exploration of new passions and tune out the noise that gets in the way of them. Whether you're learning to cook for the first time or rekindling your love for it, building a new home for you and yours, or cultivating a local community, embrace the hustle and bustle. Get busy.
So that's pretty much it for the roadmap. They don't really say much. I guess it's kind of just like an introductory paragraph into the new stuff pack. And also the roadmap is all about hustle and bustle. And I feel like there are a lot of hints on here. There are a lot of users over on Twitter and of course in the comments of my videos speculating based on seeing the pad thai that we could be getting a Southeast Asian inspired world or Southeast Asian inspired expansion pack, or who knows, maybe even more than that. And honestly, it's about time they explore places outside of the US. I feel like we've talked about this several times. That's the issue. And as far as the keychain here with a house on it, maybe this expansion pack has to do with trading property, renting houses, buying and selling, all of that stuff. That's also another little bit of speculation that we have going around at the moment as well. Now, could you guys imagine the amount of noise that would be made in the Sims community on social media if there were car keys attached to this keychain? But these are very so clearly not car keys. These are likely just house keys. And what's funny is this key right here looks a lot like my mailbox key, and we have letters here. So I don't know if there's any correlation with that. That's just kind of something that stuck out to me. But I don't know, just seeing the house, I'm thinking buying and trading properties. And also somebody brought up the fact that there was a whole segment with the lore about the land grabs and all all the properties that they own and all of that stuff. So I feel like that definitely ties into the roadmap in this way, and I think it's definitely a hint, and I think this is probably what the expansion pack is going to be about. Probably acquiring properties, buying and selling, or trading, or maybe even renting out. Like, couldn't it be awesome if you could purchase all these properties and then rent them out and make money off of them? Pretty cool, right? I guess owning and running a business in that way. And a lot of people were even saying like, here we go, another expansion pack rehash. Like, this is something that could have been a part of Get to Work, the same way that we have The Sims 4 Horse Ranch and how it feels very closely related to cottage living, you know? One's an American farm pack and one's a British farm pack. So I feel like at this point in The Sims 4, when we get expansion packs, when we get these larger packs, I feel like they probably are going to rehash other packs or at least have connections in some ways. And yes, it's disappointing, but it sucks to say this. I just expect it at this point. Like, I'm not even disappointed about it. I'm just like, yep, we should have saw that coming, you know? Of course, all of this is just speculation at this time. I guess we don't really fully know if that's what's going to happen or if this is what the pack is going to be about, but it makes sense, you know? All right, so now moving on, we have a blog post about episode 3 of Behind the Sims. So we have a recap of everything from episode 3 in case you missed it or you just didn't want to watch it. Get cooking with the Sims 4 Home Chef Hustle Stuff Pack, exciting announcement, new content for the Sims Mobile, Sims Free Play, an update on Project Renee, which we talked about at the beginning of the video, and an exciting merch store announcement. So really just those 4 bullet points, and that's kind of it. And of course, we have this screen here showing this Sim selling food that they make at a food stand. We've got some drinks up here, we've got a menu, and even a little tip jar, I feel like. So this looks to be a cute pack, and this is the reason why I really like stuff packs and why I really hate kits, because with stuff packs, you get the build buy, you get the cast, and you get a little bit of gameplay. It's variety, you get a little bit of everything. But with kits, you either only get the cast, you either only get the build buy, or with Busted Dust, you only get the gameplay, and it's in the form of 1, 2, or like 3 objects, you know? And it's $5. Whereas this, yes, it's double the money, it's $10, but I feel like you're getting significantly more for the price. Like, you're getting a better bang for your buck, you know? And that's why I will always recommend stuff packs over kits. So we have a little bit here about the Home Chef Hustle Stuff Pack.
Grow your culinary skills and turn cooking into cash with the Sims 4 Home Chef Hustle. We know Simmers have been hungry to learn more about what we have been cooking up in the Sims 4, and our teammates in Europe are excited to share a sneak peek at some of the ways you can become a masterful home chef.
You know, they talked about this a little bit on the stream. One of their new Maxa studios over in Europe's developing this thing. This is what we need. Let's get more studios outside of the United States involved. That way we actually have some pack themes that aren't so North American, you know? Whether it be worlds or the inspiration behind objects or interactions or gameplay, whatever. Let's take this out of North America, please. Thank you. I love this. And I don't know how many studios there are around the world or in how many countries, but I hope there are more, and I hope they become involved with making content for this game. And not everything has to be made at Redwood Shores in California.
We can't wait to see how players will create their efficient kitchens. With new ways of cooking, new ways to make money, new build/buy, new create a sim items, and a plethora of kitchen accessories, we wanted this stuff pack to be accessible to all.
And honestly, it truly sounds like it's going to end up being one of the best stuff packs too. And I'm not just saying that because we haven't had them in a while and they're finally returning, but I'm very excited. Like, I love kitchen stuff, and like, we're getting not just kitchen stuff, but kitchen clothing and, you know, some new interactions, some new gameplay. So that's really exciting.
We also wanted this to be the ultimate home cooking adventure. From food-themed accessories, jumpers, and aprons for the whole family, we plan to have your Sims looking like amateur chefs.
It's gonna be cute. Aprons, they also showed off. I think they were like little whisk earrings. Oh, they were so cute.
The team knows that small appliances can deliver big results in the kitchen. In this first look, we'll be introducing a brand new waffle maker representing the Nordic style of waffle, thin and crispy, that can be boosted with flavors including cured fish and dill, and North American favorite, chicken and waffles.
Pretty cool. I mean, I kind of assumed they were gonna go with some North American stuff, but also, you know, we got the Nordic style of waffle as well.
We've added so many recipes from many cultures over the years, and the list has become a bit trickier to use. To support you in your culinary quests, we have added filters so you can find the meal you are looking for in a fraction of the time in the free base game update coming alongside this pack. That is not the only thing we have added in the base game update. Did anyone say hashtag free cupcakes? You can now cook cupcakes in your own oven.
This like sent me for a whirlwind. There's always gonna be something in the free patch that comes before a pack like this. And we've got filters so we can actually sort by meals, and no more using that freaking cupcake machine. Absolutely ridiculous. I don't know why they made something that big and put it in the game. It's quite stupid in my opinion, but now we can cook cupcakes or bake cupcakes in the oven. So of course, we're gonna be learning more about this tomorrow, guys. It's Wednesday, September 13th. The trailer drops tomorrow. I'm sure we'll probably get a blog post too, so there's a lot to talk about there with that. So you'll be seeing more content from me involved with that, but super exciting to learn more. And I'm assuming that since they teased that first, the stuff pack's probably gonna be coming out first and the expansion pack's probably gonna be coming out a little later on. I don't know if they even mentioned this in the stream. They probably did and I just like completely missed it, but they bring up the community voted kits here. What did you think we'd forget to mention the community voted kits? Keep an eye out early next year for the release of the Goth Galore and Castle Estate kits. Here's another first look. Oh, they did talk about this. Okay. I completely missed it, didn't I? Oh my gosh, I did completely miss it. This is gonna be really cool, guys. This is gonna be really neat. And these were fan voted too, so I'm sure these are definitely going to sell well, but I mean, kits are not my thing, so I probably won't really pick these up, but out of the options, these were the ones that I would have chosen, to be completely honest. Of course, we have new content for Sims Mobile and Sims Free Play, and an update on Project Renee. And you guys know how I feel about this game and this update. It's just not good in my opinion. It's not good news. Like, it sounds like good news, like everybody wants to hear that something's going to be free, but you have to think, guys, this is a billion-dollar corporation and they're making a brand new Sims game completely free. So your first thought is, billion-dollar corporation and a free game, how are they making money, right? Well, yeah, here comes the catch. They're gonna make money off of selling everything and anything for this game. And if you thought it was bad with the Sims 4 microtransactions, with kits and game packs and stuff packs and expansion packs, if you thought it was even bad with the Sims 3 and the Sims 3 store, this will probably be either just as bad or probably worse, if I'm being completely honest, just seeing how they're launching this thing free to play. And honestly, the more that we hear about this, the less I'm thinking it's Sims 5, honestly. I feel like it's probably like a spin-off or something. It's gotta be something different because we know it's got multiplayer in it, optional multiplayer of course, and it's gonna be compatible for not just PC, but for mobile as well. So you can start building and decorating on your computer, then pick up on your phone if you go to another room. And I feel like that is going to pose a lot of limitations. And I don't know why, I just feel like it's probably not Sims 5. I feel like it's probably a spin-off, which I guess is a good thing, but then it makes me think, well, if this is a spin-off, well then how long until the Sims 5 is coming? Because this is gonna be quite a ways away, you know? But anyways, let's read a little more about this here.
We are back with new updates on Project Renee. Over the years, you've seen us introduce many versions of Sims experiences, from The Sims to The Sims Online, The Sims Castaway, The Sims Medieval, The Herbs to today's The Sims Free Play and The Sims 4. We are always looking for ways to bring The Sims to more players while keeping our charming characters and creations at the heart of what we make. When we think about any Sims game, it has to start with the core experience. What must we preserve for this to be a Sims game, and what can we do in this game that we couldn't do before?
I think that's the main problem, is they keep trying to change the foundation of The Sims and what The Sims is, and they're always trying to fix what's not broken, and then they end up just making it worse than it was before they try to change what wasn't broken and made it worse then. You know what makes The Sims The Sims. Why are you changing so much with it? Like, The Sims doesn't feel like how The Sims used to feel, at least to me. I'm speaking from a perspective of The Sims games that I grew up playing. The Sims 1, The Sims 2, The Sims 3, and things definitely feel a lot different now than they did back then, and I'm sure it's going to continue to get different. Like, I know the game is going to evolve and they have a different demographic of players now. They still have us oldie heads around, but I don't think we make up their main demographic anymore, and I think they're going to just keep changing the game to really cater to that audience. And I don't necessarily think that that's a bad thing, but I guess you could see it as a bad thing if you're not in that demographic, you know? But I just don't see how microtransactions and DLC is good for anyone. I don't see how anyone would like that. You know, before, in my opinion, The Sims really felt like a true life simulator, and now it just feels more like a dollhouse simulator. It's like a building simulator, a fashion simulator for cats, and gameplay seems to really be on the back burner. And honestly, I don't know if if that's even going to change much with new iterations of the game to come. I feel like they're just going to continue to release the kind of content that caters to those audiences.
Project Renee will be a new way to play The Sims. It will feel Simsy, as players will still manage what their Sims do throughout their day, while also presenting gameplay choices differently. With Project Renee, we want to do things from the start that The Sims hasn't ever done, or try to do familiar things in a new way. Here is an overview of the Project Renee news updates mentioned during Behind the Sims Episode 3. Project Renee will coexist with other Sims games. Project Renee and The Sims 4 will exist side by side. We will continue to support both at the same time and will plan to bring more exciting content to the Sims 4 community for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, Sims 4 ain't ended anytime soon. I talked about that in the video that I uploaded yesterday, but it's gonna be around for a minute, guys. A hot minute. I am legit thinking 5+ years, honestly. And I know that's probably scary to hear, but it seems like The Sims 4 is doing really well. And they're really milking this thing out, and people are buying everything. And, because of that, they're going to keep it going. Why stop when they're making money,
Project Renee will be free to download. This means that when Project Renee is ready and fully open to players, you will be able to join, play, and explore it without a subscription, core game purchase, or energy mechanics. We want playing to be super easy for you to invite or join friends and experience new features, stories, and challenges.
It sounds nice on paper, doesn't it? It really does. And I'm sure there's going to be a decent amount of gameplay and core features that are available for free, but they have here without a subscription, without core game purchase, or energy mechanics. So I wouldn't be surprised if they did introduce subscription, but for like the DLC, content, microtransaction sort of thing where you pay them monthly and you have access to some or all stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if they went down that route. And when you do something like that, you end up spending more money in the long run, because also when you have a subscription model, if you were to stop giving them money monthly, you lose access to everything you have. So it's kind of like you're stuck in a constant loop of constantly giving them money every set period, 30 days or whatever, to access the content that you have. But if you can't afford it that month, or if you stop, you don't have access to your content anymore. That's how it works, because you don't own it. When you have a subscription like this, basically you're renting the content. That's literally how it works. Everything is this subscription model now. And I really hope they don't pull that for DLC. Like, buying DLC is one thing and it's gonna suck if everything's behind a paywall and you have to buy everything. But at least if you buy it, you own it, Whereas with the subscription, it might seem like you're getting a good deal because you're only giving them what, $7-10 a month, let's say, for example, if something like that were to happen. But like, if you stop everything that you have, if it's years of content that you've acquired, you can't use any of it anymore, That's how I see it.
Project Renee will grow over time. We want Project Renee to be strong and cohesive from the start. While it won't begin with everything you have in The Sims 4, we plan to add new experiences and content to Project Renee over time. Beyond regular updates to the core game, we will sell content and packs, but we plan to change this up a bit. For example, basic weather may be added to the core game for free for everybody. And in the future, a pack for purchase may be focused on winter sports with activities like ice dancing or a snowman building competition. It's important that with Project Renee we lower barriers to play and give all players the broadest shared systems, because that feels like the strongest foundation for us to grow from.
I mean, I guess that's okay. So it's like, we might have weather in the base game, but it won't be like deeper than that, basically. Like activities for winter will be put into DLCs and stuff. I just see them dividing things up into more DLC than before. Like, if you feel like Sims 4 DLC are kind of really divided up, like we had a Sims 3 expansion pack, for example, Supernatural, and with the Sims 4, now we're getting separate game packs for the occults. Yes, they're more detailed, but you are paying more. I feel like with Project Renee, I wouldn't be surprised if they even take this further, and then they start taking things inside of the game pack, like objects, functional objects, and selling them separately then. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they did something like that. And I think that's where I'm truly worried, because you're just going to be spending even more money and then getting less,
A new way of development. We're bringing everyone along with us every step of the way for Project Renee. We want to include Simmers throughout the various phases of development, which could include everything from closed invites to small public playtests or early access options. We are still in the early stages of development for Project Renee, but we are excited to keep sharing the details of our progress with you.
Playtests and early access, they're probably going to tone down on all that stuff, because the last time they did a playtest, everything leaked. So I'm sure they're probably very careful with that sort of thing. But I'm curious to know, like, how long it's going to be for Project Renee. When when is this going to see the light of day? How many years is it going to be? There are so many questions with this, but that's pretty much it. They talk about the merch. There's really nothing to say. It's launching later on this year, holiday season. There's going to be all sorts of fun stuff with that, but share your thoughts below on all of this, and also with the expansion pack, what you think it's going to be. I'm thinking buying, trading, selling properties, real estate. That's the word. Like, I should have just said real estate. Like, that just made more sense. The stuff pack looks cool. Also, no kits. It doesn't seem like there are any kits coming anytime soon. There was a correction there with that. Glad they updated that, because honestly, I would have just assumed there were kits anyways. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Of course, if there's any more news or info, I'll be back as soon as possible. Take care, so long, and happy life simming.